Janine Chandel, and the purpose of this interview is to gather firsthand professional insight from an experienced counselor and supervisor working in the human service and substance use disorder field. This interview will help me better understand the educational pathways, professional responsibilities, clinical approaches, and personal experiences involved in counseling within a medication-assisted treatment setting. The information collected will support my coursework by connecting classroom concept to real-world practice. Today I'm here with Roxy Brown, who's also a colleague of mine here working at Community Medical Services in West Dallas, also a personal friend of mine. Roxy, can you tell me a little about your educational background and the credentials that you currently hold?
Okay. My education is a bachelor's in human services with a concentration of addiction studies. I am currently a clinical supervisor, so I have my CSAC, which is a clinical substance abuse counselor, and now I have my independent clinical supervisor license.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So that's your licensing as well as your certification that are required
Yes.
in your positions? Awesome. So what motivated you to pursue counseling as a career?
Well, I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
And when I was in treatment, I really admired the counselors and the things that I learned, and I want to be a counselor someday.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get there, but I did almost immediately start working in treatment centers. It just took me a while to, I guess, I don't know, get the courage
Yeah.
to go to school.
Absolutely. I can relate. Yeah, absolutely. It took me a while too. Yeah. So how did your schooling prepare you for working in the SUD and MAT fields?
Well, the first course I took was it was a SACIT course through this agency called Transformation Services. And it taught us the basics. They taught us the counseling practices, case management, counseling, intakes, assessments, screening first, screening, intakes, assessment, all of those things, kind of the basics. But they also taught us how to read the DSM, which was DSM-4 back then. So they, along with the class, we were given like a little small DSM-4. She taught us how to read it, encouraged us to learn how to identify, even though we're not mental health, but at least identify some of the traits so that we can refer the patients to, to a proper agency or, provider. What also kind of helped me too is one of the assignments was to watch movies. Okay. and then to do a case study on the movie characters.
Oh, nice.
And so that really helped me a lot.
Nice.
Because it was kind of like taught me how to put together a case consultation or a summary at the end of an assessment. We had to learn all of that stuff, assessments, treatment plans, yeah.
Right.
Then I went to school because I couldn't go any further than a SACIT without some kind of education. So I went to school, and school gave me a lot of clarity. Some things I had learned by working as a counselor without the education. I was mimicking supervisors I didn't know the name of what I was doing. Such as like teaching CBT skills. Like I literally did not know that's what I was doing.
Right.
I was just mimicking my supervisor. So when I got in school and learned, oh, I was teaching CBT all that time.
Right.
Stuff like that,
Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of brought, it helped it come all together for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you were saying like back then, which leads to my next question, which is like, how long have you worked in the substance use field?
I received my second in 2009.
Okay. Nice, cool. And how long have you been here at this clinic?
I've only been here since February of
Okay.
this year, so
Yeah,
a few
nice.
months.
And how many different positions have you held like in the human services field?
Mostly counseling, but I did a case management position first, I believe. It was
Okay.
actually a program that was a reentry program for people getting out of prison.
Okay.
And so that was the first job I had. I also provided like ALDA groups to the inmates. And then after that, I started working in treatment centers and kind of been doing that ever since on
Nice.
all different
Nice.
levels.
So then what led you to work in the MAT field?
You really want to know? I needed health insurance.
Right. Hey, whatever gets you
Um,
to where you're at.
when I first, in 2013 was my first experience, and I did it for 7 years,
Okay.
actually, at another company, for another company. I did it for 7 years, and honestly, because of my belief system and what I learned in recovery, it was a challenge because I did not understand or even agree with harm reduction.
Me too.
And plus I didn't use opioids. My drug of choice wasn't an opioid.
Right.
So I didn't understand the withdrawal part of it either. But I did come in with some information from another person that I knew that worked in MAT, and they kind of helped me open up my eyes or my mind, right, to how MAT works, how MAT works.
Right.
And so I went in with an open mind and I began to understand. Also, though, at that time, they were trying to program MATs for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, so the idea was the first year you get your stable dose and then the next year you start to taper. That was the model back then.
Okay.
And so, since it's changed a great deal since then, but you know, I still feel like a person should have some kind of personal program of recovery
Absolutely.
along with MAT. MAT does not work without counseling and developing skills.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're very similar in that aspect because I too, you know, we have similar backgrounds and I was like, all or nothing, you know, you're either clean or you're not, and you know. So, but I too have opened my mind over the last decade to different ways.
Right.
You know, it's not a one way or the other. So
Yeah, because the goal, and you know, is to keep people alive,
absolutely.
right? And I had to retrain my brain to even think that way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it's like, I would rather you take meds to help than not take anything at all, continue to use and have a fatal incident.
And we both seen successes in all areas.
Yes.
So, absolutely, great, thank you. So can you describe your current role and main responsibilities as a counselor and a supervisor?
Okay, I don't do much counseling now. I am literally only supervising.
Okay.
And what I love about it is I get the opportunity to really help others gain the skills that I have. I was fortunate enough to learn a lot along the way. I noticed that the newer counselors that's coming in, has not had the opportunities that I had to really develop the skills to work with clients on different levels, understand how to hear what they're not saying, and what you can do to present them something that could possibly help them or they can relate to. So that's something that I'm working on here. That's one of the most, I want to say, challenging thing that I've seen at this clinic.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of answered my next question. So yeah, great. Yeah. And you answered a couple of my questions with that. Awesome.
Moving too fast.
No, good. Yeah, you're on top of it. Yeah, you're just really on top of it. How do you you really answer all my questions, so that kind of just messed up my flow, but I'm good though. Is there anything in this interview, oh wait, I know what I want to talk about. What types of self-care practices help you manage the stress in this field? I know that's so important.
Very, very important.
Yes.
First, I had to learn how to separate my work life from my home life. I had to learn how not to, and this takes a lot of skill and practice, not to take on your clients or patients' issues. And I had to develop that. That came through development.
Yeah,
It came through development where I wouldn't take it home and I would be worried and wondering, and also make myself responsible when clients did not, when they went and used or they relapsed or something. Right. I started, at one point I started thinking like,
what did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And so I had to learn to continue to give my best and, roll with resistance and try to the best of my ability offer what I can. So that helped with a lot of self-care. I'm just thinking like, what was the question? That helped with a lot of self-care to be able to separate. Other things I do is I pamper myself, go to the nail shop. I spend time with my family. I still attend recovery meetings. I have a sponsor, so if I need to vent just about life in general, I that's what I do.
All right.
With my sponsor and other people.
What has been your most meaningful experience as a counselor?
Oh my God.
I just got goosebumps because I know that,
Every time I hear from an old client, it just warms my heart. And I'm gonna tell you the most, touching one that I had. As I worked at the first MAC clinic that I was at, there was a guy that was put on my caseload, but he was tapering off the medication at the time. And so I asked him, I said, what are you gonna do from here? And he was like, I don't know, work, spend time with my family, whatever. And I go, have you thought about going to meetings? And he says, what do you mean? I explained it to him. I gave him a meeting list, and he was reporting to me that he had started going to meetings, whether I believed him or not. I was like, he probably just telling me that just to be saying it. So I'm at a convention here, and I'm looking at this guy. Now this is about 3-4 years later. I think it was 3 years later. I'm at a convention, and I'm looking at him like, oh my God. That's my old client. I don't remember his name, but I definitely remember his face. And I went across the street to get something to eat, and he was there, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he was like, why do you look so familiar to me? And then I whispered in his ear, and I told him where I was from. And he said, "Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you. I have 3 real years clean now." He said, "It's only because of you."
Yay.
And then he told me, he said, "My brother, I haven't seen in over a year. I don't know if he living or died." He said, "My mom overdosed. I found my girlfriend in a motel overdose." He said, "But I didn't have a reason to use at all. And I owe that all to you."
Yeah.
And
love
I was
that.
like, oh my God. It just filled my heart with so much
Yeah.
joy. And since then, and probably before then too, but since then, over the years, I might run into a client, a previous client, or or something, and when they have really good things to about what's going on in their lives, how if they did use, they're not using anymore. One girl said, "Miss Roxy, even though I went back out there and used, your voice just kept ringing in my head the whole time." So I was like, this woman is in my head too much. And she said she couldn't even get eye comfortably.
Right.
So she's been sober now for about a year.
Nice.
So those things really let me know my work is not in vain.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I love that. That's what I'm here for. That's what I live for. I love that we get to do the work we do. You know? Absolutely. All right. So in closing, is there anything you wish I would have asked you?
Actually, what about challenges of being a supervisor?
So we work together, and that I know all the challenges of being a supervisor because I've been going through them, and that is on my list.
Wow.
However, I'm struggling as a supervisor myself right now, so I'm really struggling.
Yeah.
But
And believe it or
can you
not,
enlighten my challenges that I may be facing in the future?
well, I have very similar experiences by multiple of supervisees when I started here.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty assertive person. And so I have learned how to communicate the information that I need to communicate about what needs to happen. And there's been times where I may have had to get a little stern, but then there's times when I would just explain, like, I'm just here excited about offering you what I have, because I have a lot to give. And that works for some people.
Yes.
And some people right now today, it still ain't worked for.
Right.
But it should have some kind of trust, relationship with your supervisees. There should be some kind of rapport and some kind of trust. And so that right there can be challenging when there's nothing there, in basic. And it's kind of sad because then they could be too close-minded to really get some knowledge that can be very useful.
Yeah.
But I just had to learn to be okay with that, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know what else to do with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Thank you. Yeah, and you've taught me so much already in this role, because you're a supervisor, I'm a supervisor coming in, you've defended me, and you've taught me, and I'm finding my place here, and I thank you for that. And I've learned a lot already, and I'm still learning more, but I have stepped it up quite a bit just in the last few days, and I'm already learned that I've already gotten more respect. Just in the last few days, so.
Good for you.
It is what it is, so I
I'm
thank
proud
you.
of
I thank you for this interview. Yeah, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Yeah, thank you for the interview. And we hug,
Oh,
so we're ending with a hug.
all right.
Thank you, my love.
All right, thank you. My pleasure.
Oh God, was it still recording? Oh my God. Okay, yeah, okay.